Hi, church family. For those of you I don't know, I'm Andrew, and I'm one of the student ministers here at St James Barella and Lighthouse Church. Well, as we continue to navigate our way through this global pandemic, and the talk now is about restrictions easing, re-emerging from isolation, and the new normal, whatever that looks like. So I think it's an appropriate time for us to think through what this means for us as a church community, as individuals and as followers of Jesus. And so we're now working through important issues such as when and how we can gather again for church, discipleship groups, doing youth group, market day, and so on. And it's also an opportunity for all of us to think about the compartments in our lives. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think that for all of us, we have different compartments in our lives. Family, friends, work, school, uni, fitness, rest, what we eat, how we sleep. All of these compartments have been affected by the COVID pandemic, haven't they? Lately, I've been reading through the book of Leviticus, and it's a challenging book, I've got to say. But one of the things that's really stood out for me is the level of detail. You see, for God's people travelling through the wilderness towards the land that He promised them, every aspect of their life is included in this book. There's detailed instructions on how they're to ensure that every part of their life, every compartment, their worship is to be holy because God is holy. Nothing is missed. Every compartment of their life is to be devoted to God. Over these past few months, our lives have in many ways become a lot smaller, haven't they? So many of the compartments of our lives have emptied out. But as we re-emerge now, and as some of these compartments start to open up, for example, we can start to develop relationships again, work on our friendships. We can go back to school. We can visit family. We can eat out. We can go to work, get back to university. All these things we can start to do again. And I've been thinking, this is a great opportunity for us to do a check and to check on these compartments and ask ourselves this question: does everything in my life belong to God? Does everything in my life belong to God? Well, last month, you may remember, we worked our way through the book of Malachi, and in one of the passages we looked at, God's people were robbing Him. That is, they weren't giving to Him what they were required to give to Him. And while these laws have now changed with the death and resurrection of Jesus, God still demands everything from us, every compartment. Jesus Himself taught us that the most important commandment is this. It's to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. And this can be really, really difficult, right? In fact, just like the Israelites in Leviticus and again in Malachi, because of our sinful natures, we naturally want to keep God out of some parts of our lives. We want to keep God out of some of our compartments. This is why He sent Jesus, who gave His whole life, the perfect sacrifice that we could never make. In the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verses 21 to 24, we read this: "Since you have heard about Jesus and have learned the truth that comes from Him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy." Well, we've had to throw off a whole lot of things in the past few months, haven't we? Different compartments of life. But as things start to change in these next weeks and months ahead, as our lives open up again, let's take this opportunity to ensure that everything we do reflects our nature as followers of Jesus. This is such an opportunity for us. It's an opportunity to reset. And as we start to open up old compartments or maybe even new compartments, let's ensure we turn to God and give everything to Him.